Speaking of, we should talk about the stud for Green Bay, though. Christian Watson actually came on like a flash at
Mhm.
the midpoint in the season, which, look, we can try to distance ourselves from the homerism of it all, but I was just so excited that there was somebody there making legitimate plays, and
I
it wasn't
know.
just like, oh, check down 9 yards to Alan Lazard and just shy of the sticks. Like it was somebody actually making exciting plays,
Mhm.
like a real wide receiver might. And I think a lot of people got Christian Watson wrong coming into the season. They looked right for about the first 6 to 7 games, and then he turned it on.
Well, a
All
lot of
right,
that
let's
was
do
due to injury.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he was injured,
And,
confidence
uh,
shook from the first catch that he
I was gonna
dropped.
say the first drop, and then Rodgers, wouldn't throw to him for the next 3 games, so that happened.
So, elephant in the dark room, if Aaron Rodgers does get traded and Jordan Love starts then,
Mhm.
Jordan Love with Christian Watson. I mean, Christian Watson was already deceptively high as a fantasy finish because of all the touchdowns.
Yes.
So if Jordan Loves comes into the mix, and I mean, they'll add somebody to the wide receiving room. If Lazard leaves, which it looks like he will, they'll add
Mhm.
somebody. But are you still really in on Christian Watson for Dynasty?
For Dynasty, yes. I think that he's gonna have another year in the system, more time to develop. He's a very raw prospect coming in last year, played at North Dakota State, D2 school or whatever that D2 name is now, I forget.
Mighty
Um,
Ducks? Mighty Ducks 2?
yeah,
The mightiest Ducks?
yeah.
I think that's what that is.
Screw Iceland. Um,
But yes, he was a D2 quote unquote
yeah,
school.
yeah.
And
So
we knew
so
he was a
a
product.
non Power Five school.
Right.
So he was very rough coming in, very raw, and so it was good to see him come along. Hi, Faith. The answer is no.
Drinking a ginger beer, Faith in the chat. It's not a Seagram's cooler.
Yeah.
Seagram's cooler. God damn it! I got to stop drinking these clear things. I should have put a koozie around it, Dustin. What was I thinking?
You
Anyways,
weren't.
sorry.
That was the
Back to
problem.
Christian Watson.
Yeah, he was very raw coming in. So I think another year in this system, whether Rodgers is there, I mean, obviously having Rodgers there is a bigger boon than Jordan Love. I think we can say at this point, only because we haven't seen
Sure.
Jordan Love play a lot. But
Yes.
I don't think all this fantasy value is gone if Rodgers goes either. Like we saw good talent. Cream rises to the top. He's still going to get the majority of the targets on this team, unless the Packers, for some reason, trade for a alpha wide receiver, which is not their MO. So we know that's not going to happen. Yeah, I think for Dynasty, yes, Christian Watson is still a value, was still a buy. I think you could, depending on what happens with the Rodgers situation here in the next few weeks, if Rodgers gets traded or decides to retire and, do ayahuasca for the rest of his days, I think you could probably get Watson at a discount because there is going to be that question mark about Jordan Love.
Yeah, I agree. I think that that's the time to pounce. I think waiting is the right move right
Hmm.
now. And like if
But
Rodgers does come back for another year, I understand you're not going to be able to trade for him at a discount, and
mhm.
I'd still be fine with that.
Yeah, I will say though, for redraft for next year, depending on how ADP is kind of shaking out here over the summer and as we get closer to draft season, I probably won't be in on him just because there will be so much hype, and I just don't know if I trust the situation enough to draft him where the ADP will be.
Yeah, I could see him being one of those very exciting risers for ADP
Hmm.
come the start of the 2023 year. And if that's the case, yeah, it's very hard to rely on a guy whose majority of his fantasy points came from touchdowns.